So, normally, when people talk about battles, we're thinking automatically rap battles or the big, well, it wasn't a big fight last night with McGregor, but there is a huge tectonic battle going on in the small little island of Puerto Rico. The last couple of weeks, and it's been, which I mean, they live on a tectonic plate. Do you know what I mean? It's an island. They're kind of whooshy. They kind of go with the flow of the ocean.
Is this scientific terms?
Whooshy and the flow.
Yeah.
They really are scientific. I thought you'd like that. But what's happened is the last 3 weeks, Puerto Rico has had several, and when I mean several, at least 10 a day earthquakes, all
Jesus.
about 1.4 to 4.5 magnitude. So you can kind of feel them and you know it's happening, but you're like, okay, whatever. Well, last week they had two 5.8 earthquakes back to back within 2 hours. And it was enough that it started shaking several houses and hotels. And then they had a 6.9 magnitude earthquake that lasted almost 10 minutes.
Good
And it
Lord.
caused, yes, it has caused some serious damage. And what people don't seem to remember is that Puerto Rico is already kind of borderline trash, simply because they've had two hurricanes back to back, both Hurricane Maria and Irma, and they've never fully recovered from those. Like they are still in the rebuilding process. Like once they get building and things are going good, oh shit, here comes another hurricane or here's an earthquake. No, we don't want you to rebuild. You stay down. You are brown people. But what's happened
Are you saying
lately.
God's racist?
Yes. What's up? Haven't you heard this?
Okay, alright.
I thought you'd like that. But what's happening is our government has completely shut down sending any monetary or any supplies to Puerto Rico because, and I quote from our president, we sent them stuff last time.
No.
Yes. Yes. He was also quoted as saying he wanted to call the president of Puerto Rico, but the line was busy.
No. None of that can't be. You had to get that from the Onion.
No, I don't listen to The Onion, nor do I read The Onion
Should.
because they are hilarious.
That.
Sadly, though, yeah, yeah. So we have all these issues going on in Puerto Rico. But what was discovered today, well, actually within the last 20 hours, there are several warehouses that were built when the last hurricane, which was Irma, hit. And in these warehouses, they are finding these pallets fully saran wrapped, still full with cots and water. There's medical supplies. There's rotting food.
They
These
finding
things
more? Because I remember they found those during that.
within the last 24 hours, they found over 1,000 pallets in a warehouse.
Jesus.
Yeah, the issue was that they are looking for places to put these displaced people. There are several people without homes because of all these earthquakes. And so they're starting to open up these warehouses. And these warehouses were built because of the hurricanes, and it was to store all the excess of supplies. Well, now they found a warehouse still full of supplies. So they really don't know what to do. I think they're going to go ahead and give out some of this stuff. I mean, it's water, there's bedding. Some of this stuff doesn't really go bad, but the president or the mayor, I think it's a mayor. I was going to say president,
But
but
no, you're right.
no,
You're a mayor. Mayor. Yeah.
it is the mayor has fired the worker that does the or that did the relations for all of the commodities and everything that was sent, and has and put in a general from the Puerto Rican army. I think that is what it is. And they are now in charge to make sure of supplies and everything gets distributed in. But they are still having earthquakes, and they are a lot milder. They're still in the 1.2 and the 3.8 range, but they are going almost a month of random earthquakes all day long. which is awkward because today it was announced in our area of Kansas, we had a 4.0 earthquake today.
4.4, I believe.
Yeah, and that is according to the National Geographic website. They are talking about this tectonic displacement that is still going on and how, due to certain things happening, I know our president says that global warming and things like these are not true, but other agencies say they are. And some of the signs is that when the ocean heats up, that it can start this tectonic displacement, and we're going to be seeing a lot more earthquakes.
Hmm.
I just don't live in a place where it kind of shakes all the time. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, no, look, if yeah, if I wanted to do that, I would, I guess, turn myself into like a flea and live on Michael J. Fox, but that's not something I want to do. But no, I'm kidding. I love Michael J. Fox. Uh, there's so much to unpack there. Number one, you kind of have to say, like, look, when you first hear it, the president doesn't want to send more stuff. I kind of get it. Like, if who's ever in charge of, handing out the supplies, basically their relief, um, you know, um, whatever person in charge of
Hey, I don't
administering that.
with the Trump any more than the next guy. But to find out that they still are finding, like today, within
Yeah,
the last 4 hours, you mean there's still warehouses where there's supplies? Come
yeah.
on, guys.
No,
You better.
exactly. And
Oh,
and that goes down to the Puerto Rican people as well. I mean, they've got to
yeah.
speak truth to power. But on top of that, though, you do have to say yes. But they are America, and Trump has reign over them. He really does, into the point where he could say, "Look, you need to handle this situation a lot better. We don't need to be giving you all these supplies for you to possibly be charging them, charging people for them. We don't know that, but I'm guessing that's what's happening because that's what happens in a really heavy capitalist society, and especially like Puerto Rico is like a capitalist dream. So I would guess that's happening. Number two, yeah, that's really disconcerting about earthquakes. I think what you were talking. I don't think the earthquake here had anything to do with it. Um,
No, it was just like a surprise. I was told that it really wasn't an earthquake. It was a Chief Stadium getting ready to open.
oh Jesus, no. But where that earthquake happened, it is it was a pretty well-known fault line here in Kansas. So I mean, I'm not that concerned, is what I'm saying, but I would be curious as to why Puerto Rico is basically just like shaken like an 80-year-old woman. Like
It's crazy, isn't it?
why? And that's one of those things. Like scientists can't
No.
predict what's going to happen. They can't prove like where you should go when it's going to stop. I mean, there's really not much they can figure, and the tectonic plates in general are layered so well together that yeah, a point in Puerto Rico could affect a point in Japan. We don't really know. Um, but yeah, that's really very very concerning.
Well, you are, I mean, you're right. But what also concerns me is, did you know, my good dear friend, that the White House is still not having any press
Briefings?
at all? Nothing.
Yeah, they don't like to talk to the press.
Since July. I, look, I don't want to say, oh, come on, people, let's hate Trump. I don't. Because there's been many times where I've said, you know what, I don't want to talk about Trump today. Can we go a day without Trump? I understand from his point of view that people do twist what he says, do take it out of context. I understand. You're the fucking White House. Um, Maybe like a press brief once a month. Like, is that a lot to ask for? I don't believe in just following blindly, and that seems to be what we're being told. I I didn't even know we had a new press secretary.
Oh, you
Like,
didn't?
no, I didn't
Oh.
know who this chick was. Like, you've seen one white woman, you've seen them all. And here she is. Her name is Stephanie.
Stephanie Grisham, yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea who this chick was. And then when I was reading this article, it said she was White House press secretary. Who?
You're
Like, what?
like what happened to Donkey from Shrek?
I don't even know. And then
Did he have to go?
I did
Did he have to go back for the fourth Shrek movie?
like. There's been four since that one chick left with the donkey face. Yeah, I didn't know that. Like, how am I supposed to know? There's no briefings. And her biggest complaint is that people don't understand that they should just follow what our president says, and when it's important, he'll let us know. Well, here's my thing. Do you know what I think is important? Bombing fucking Iran. Like, could you just said, hey, listen, feeling kind of mad today. Think I'm gonna blow up a country. Just FYI, haven't chosen one yet, but I'll let you know. And then
Or
when
at least the aftermath?
like, hey, this is what I did. My bad. Like, I didn't get my juice box or a nap, so I'm sad, so I blew up Iran. My bad, bro. Nothing.
Yeah,
He went
no,
to.
I agree.
I can't follow him blindly like that. Do you know what I mean?
So
A
here,
little
here
patient.
would be like my thought on it. Like first, I will say, the instinctually, I'm like, I kind of get it. And it's been a thought process that I've had for that's been growing more and more, and it's manipulate itself into this like
Did you want to
I
become
hate
a trooper?
no, I hate mainstream media, and nothing points me in
Bomb
that direction
media.
any more than the last Bernie Sanders story we were talking about.
That is true.
And I've often wondered and thought like, man, if Bernie wins, and I am a Bernie supporter, and I can already see what they're doing to him now, is he going to be like Trump number two? Is people are going to be like Bernie? They're going to turn everything into he's a socialist working for Russia and blah blah blah. I mean, I don't know. I it's reasonable though, and so I do get where where that's coming from. Also, you said once a month, and I agree with that. But
Feels like it's up. Do you know what I mean?
from the aspect of like I don't know, maybe just like getting a podcast together and doing it once a month. I mean, I get it. Like sometimes there's stuff come up and it's hard to do it.
True.
Uh, yeah,
We get it.
exactly. Like no, but seriously, the other thing too is you said and I remember the quote, and I don't exactly remember how Grisham quoted it, but she said, um, "You can hear it from Trump's mouth." And people did take offense with that. But isn't that what the press briefings are anyway? Like that's why I'm not really bothered by this because they were at best they were a chance for you know the mainstream media lying divas to try to dunk on the on Spicer or Donkey Face or whoever it was and to like look like, oh, look at me, I'm so woke and I'm gonna ask you this hard question. Like it was for the most part they were garbage
And
anyway, and they were
let's
nothing.
get out there and be like, so today the president woke up, had himself a good McMuffin. He did a 30-minute poop where he tweeted the whole time, and he's getting ready to take a nap. I appreciated that. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying I want 20 a day. Oh, hell no. I don't even want to see my husband 20 times a day. But like once a week or once a month, this is what happened. We had these meetings going on. These people visited the White House. We all ate hamburgers. Happy fucking day. I don't want to hear from your tweet account. Bomb shit out of Iran. Woohoo!
I'm
Hoorah!
I'm also though like again I'm not trying to to defend our thick president, but I mean also does anyone care?
No,
Whenever we've had these and I've asked people follow up like did you see the press briefing? No.
no.
I mean
Fuck. Like
So,
on TV.
and I think that's like why no one noticed it because no one gave a shit to begin with. And if you don't believe in Trump and you think he's a liar, you're just going to come across as saying, oh, they're just lying. If you disagree with Trump and you hate him, you're going to be like, well, they're just everything that he's saying and everything they're doing is just fucked up and I'm not going to pay attention anyway. And if you love Trump, you're going to be like, yeah, see, they're telling the truth. It's just, I don't know. I guess for me personally, I don't think that these things need to happen. I really don't. I mean, we got Twitter, we got every outlet of news possible. Um, and I hate the fact, by the way, that I mentioned Twitter first. But honestly, you can
Right?
you can read tweets from people like from Trump, from whoever he's involved with. Like, I think the fact that, one thing a couple of my friends are not aware of is the translation on Twitter. That's amazing. You can sit there and find world leaders and see what they were talking about. Throw the translation in there and, oh, hey, I can read this now. I think that's far more important than having like Jim Acosta take the story and, try to, twist it to make CNN look good and then post the story.
Relevant this year, okay? Give him a chance. He wants to be relevant.
Yeah,
We
he's
all
trying
know
hard.
he's gonna go back under that rock he crawled out from, and then people are gonna be like, "Who the fuck is Jim Acosta?" We'll go back to normal. Let him try to be relevant for a little bit, all right?
That's all I see it though. I see it as like a state's job for the media, and we don't need them anymore. They're a waste of our time, and
Be
they've
happy if Trump would do like Facebook Live
that would be
for the
great,
Oval
honestly.
Office.
Like,
You
but
guys,
again, like the media has lied to us so much, we don't fucking need them. They've lost that with us, I think, in a lot of ways. We've moved on to, um, anything from like Dave Rubin to Shapiro to on the other side, the Young Turks and Secular Talk and Bo of the Fifth Column. You got all these other people, the Gray Zone, actual like real journalists doing their job. I don't want to sit there and watch some dog and pony show with CNN and Fox. They can sit on a fist.
and in the morning.
Anyway, you were gonna tell me about this whole like royal thing that I don't know.
Okay. And it's an interesting story for the simple fact that it is all over mainstream media. It is all over social media. It is out there. And 87%, I think it was a poll that was done on BuzzFeed, so you know it's perfect,
Yes.
that most people don't know what it's about. So here we go. And this is the redheaded guy that kind of looks like Ed Sheeran and kind of better.
You're gonna have to repeat that. You cut
Married.
out there.
Oh, did I? I'm sorry. So Prince Harry is the redheaded prince. There's two of them. Prince William's the older guy. He's blonde. He's attractive. And then he's got,
Yeah, I'd bang him.
whatever was left of his dad is, Prince Harry as the bad semen. So I did say that.
But didn't Prince
He married,
Harry hook up with like the hot chick though, or the younger one?
yeah, he got the hotter chick. He got the hot young chick.
I mean,
Yeah, no,
you might
yeah.
look like an emaciated Carson Wentz, but got after it.
So he did settle down just like 3 years after his older brother, but he married an African American actress, which in today's society you would think, who cares? Like literally, who cares? Well, England. England fucking cares. And here is what happened. So it was discussed between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, his legal wife, whom he married on national TV, and it was a week-long process.
Ugh, yeah, I remember that shit.
They also have a legitimate royal heir that they waited a full year before they showed pictures of. Prince Harry decided that he is done with social media and he's done with the way certain reporters infringe upon their rights. And in his defense, when he went and he did do like a public service announcement, he himself talked about how The paparazzi and the cameras followed him his whole life. They followed his mom. They basically murdered Princess Diana in a car wreck. It was all recorded.
Hmm.
It's gone for years. You're like, yeah, I masturbated to that last night.
No, no, I'm just saying, like, I don't know if that's the truth. I mean, but anyway.
There's plenty of video out there.
No, I know,
Like,
but I don't think it was the media, honestly. I don't want to get into it, but I'm just saying, like, there's some really interesting conspiracy to it. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't know. We're not doing your conspiracy shit this time. We'll do a whole show where you
Like
can
I
go
said,
off on.
no, I don't want to get into it because I don't know that much about it, but there's some really weird correlations. But anyway, go on, go on.
But they discussed it as a couple, and they've decided they want to step away from the limelight. This is not what they want at all. It's not what Meghan Markle thought it would be when she married into the family, and it has gotten progressively worse since they've had the baby. And they talked about it as a couple. So Prince Harry and Meghan Markle made an official statement. They are stepping away from the royal family. They no longer want to be royal. Which, once again, okay, thanks for letting me know. I don't really care.
Is that the entire whole story?
Well, no.
Okay.
The issue that has come up is part of the reason they are wanting to step away from the royal family is it where they live in London, it has become an issue that she is a horse-faced fat black American wench.
My kind of
Nobody,
woman.
right? Sounds like one of your exes. A lot of the people in London hate her. They cannot believe he married down. She is not worthy and she's black. Which, if we're being honest, if I had to listen to that every day for 3 years and hear it talked about, my child's black and will never amount to anything, I would not be happy. I
You're
understand.
serious?
I'm
Like, this
serious.
is rhetoric coming from them.
Yes, this is a thing.
Jesus.
I mean, I understand why they want to step away. It has gotten huge. There are so many, and it's not just in like England anymore. I'm talking Australia, America. It is now a thing that she is the money digging whore, and she has caused this huge upheaval in the royal family just because they don't want to be royal anymore. But that's what started the whole thing. We don't want to be.
Oh. So
Yeah,
once they announced, hey, we don't want to be royal anymore, then all of these attacks came out.
actually, the attack started when he first announced he was going to marry her. A lot of people could not believe he'd marry some poor black woman.
Mm. So it was like a 4chan thing, and then it grew from there. Is what you're saying?
It bothered me back then, but honestly, I didn't really care.
So I wanted to say, like, my initial thought when you were like, "Hey, we should do a story on the royal family," my initial thought was like, "I don't give a shit." But to your credit, this story has taken me from hating Meghan Markle and emaciated Carson Wentz to like sympathizing with them. Like I went the full gauntlet because at first I was like, "Look, you
This is
don't."
stupid, right?
You're complaining about being famous. Shut up. You knew that was gonna happen. I mean, if I married oh, I don't know, Anne Hathaway, I wouldn't be like, well, I didn't expect people would want to take my picture. I can't handle it. Oh my god, I can't shit behind the tree without people getting mad. I can't do that now. Not the point. But the thing is they have like, I, I was like that's stupid. And then you're telling me this other stuff where I don't know. I've always heard that England was kind of racist, and that's why it always like bothered me when they said just recently when Corbyn didn't win over there, and they're like, that's a sign what's going to happen in America. That's why Bernie can't win. Apparently, if we're going to go by them, then I guess we're going to become more racist and not allow African Americans to be like, you
The
know.
Lord will never win.
Which, by the way, what does that mean? We kicking Kanye out of the Kardashians? Like that's our closest comparison.
I
Yeah.
do.
But
I
no,
find it
that's
stupid.
just that's really disturbing, honestly.
I find it completely disturbing. I hate the story, and I think it shouldn't be as big as what it is. This couple first got married, they ended up they are now Duchess and Duke only. Like they had to drop the royal part.
Which I think is dumb in general. Because what does that mean? It means nothing.
Nothing.
Like,
But they were gifted. I mean, I'm trying to think of what house it is. But in England, they live in
Lannister.
those castles. Yeah. And they were gifted some house from the Queen that hasn't been updated since the 1900s. So it was put like $2.5 million had to be put into this castle to update it. Well, she's been called a gold digging black whore for years. So today they decided to give the money back to the people of England. Technically, this was tax money. We don't want to be royal. We're putting $2.5 million back in your taxes.
That's fair.
No, now she's just some poor whore.
I feel like though, like the queen
What?
did that on purpose. She was like, "Hey, we got that crappy place down on Fifth. We need to flip that. Let's give it to them. They'll have to fix it, and then I'm gonna take it back."
Well, and it's come out today. A lot of the restraints they had, they can no longer take any money from the royal family. They do have to find their own jobs, which once again, Prince Harry is an Air Force pilot and he was in the Royal Army as an Air Force pilot. So he has his own money. She has her own money. They do not need to live in the castle with the royal family. They can have other jobs, they can do other things.
Which
They can do
would
it'll like affect the people in no way.
would you really want to like still be living with your mom? Like, I'm sure they don't mind moving out of the castle. But seriously though, like, and the whole money thing, I'm sure that that's just like they can't from this point on
Thanks.
take any more money. But I'm sure that Henry or whatever his name is, Harry, I'm sure he has like one hell of like a savings account that most of us would never reach to in heights of, and I'm sure
Wait, I don't
she's
care about the
really
story at all.
like
You.
basically I don't think we're gonna go to the local McDonald's and see Harry and Megan
Like,
like
Harry
trying to like just scrub by like I and I just also wanted to say our
sitting on the street
obsession.
corner with little.
Right, right. Our obsession though with the royal family is also just I don't get it because they can't do anything. I mean, if Boris Johnson and the in Parliament were to vote on I don't know completely open borders, the Queen couldn't go down there and be like, nope, we're not letting anyone in. I slam my whatever she has down and no, they just say, "Shut up, old lady, get the hell out of here." Like they have no control. I don't really know why we give a shit. I mean, they don't create anything. They don't do anything. They just sit there and get like old, wrinkled, and white. Like so, basically, they're a dog turd. I mean,
Like when this first came out, I was like, oh look, they're stepping away. Okay. And now I'm like, no wonder you're stepping away. You can't even give back money to your people. They just hate you. Like, and I do, and it makes me wonder exactly how much the paparazzi, how much were they really followed? Because we're clear over here. We really have no idea what goes on over there unless
no,
you follow it. I do. It's really I find it sad and crazy. And I am just amazed how many people now all over the planet who are against her. And some of the biggest comments are, well, what do you expect from marrying a black person?
yeah,
It's pretty funny. Are you
no.
kidding me?
I think that's yeah. That really exposes who England really is in a lot of ways.
Oh,
They,
we
they,
do.
and not all of them, of course, but they are far more racist than what everyone seems to think America is the most racist country, and that's far from the truth. But anyway, on any of those stories, we'd love to hear anyone's thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. We will be back with the last story of the week.